Welcome to Miss Nightmare, where the line between the living and the dead is blurred, and the ordinary becomes extraordinary. My name is unimportant, but my story? That's something you should know. You see, I was born blind, swathed in darkness from the moment I took my first breath. But in that darkness, I found light, and it came from the most unlikely of sources, the spirits that danced at the edges of my perception. My father, a man of stern countenance and many secrets, was my only real connection to the physical world. He was a fortress, strong, unyielding, and protective. He warned me in his gruff, concerned voice about the spirits. "Don't interact with them," he would say, his voice echoing in the shadowy corners of our home. But I was a curious child, and the spirits were my only companions in the eternal night that was my existence. I remember Ellie, her voice soft as a summer breeze, whispering tales of her childhood. Alex, brash and full of laughter, spinning tales of his adventures. And Sarah, the gentlest of them all, her voice a soothing lullaby that lulled me to sleep on countless nights. Despite my father's warnings, I found solace in their spectral company. They were my friends, my confidants, the ones who understood what it meant to exist in a world of darkness. They were my light, my beacon in the night. But as I was about to find out, there was a reason my father warned me about the spirits. As time passed, my encounters with the spirits grew more frequent and more unsettling. It started subtly, with whispers that gently brushed past my ear like a feather's touch. They were soft murmurs, indecipherable yet filled with an emotion that was hard to ignore. The voices belonged to Ellie, Alex, and Sarah, spirits that had, over time, become my spectral companions. The whispers soon evolved into conversations. They shared with me stories of their lives, their joys and sorrows, their unfinished business. I could feel their presence around me, a chilly breeze that brought with it a sense of companionship. They were my invisible friends in a world where I was the one who was invisible. But it wasn't just words and whispers. There were times when I would sense objects moving around the house, displaced by unseen hands. I would reach out for a cup, only to find it a few inches away from where it should have been. I would hear the soft padding of footsteps in the hallway, the creaking of a door opening and closing, the rustling of pages as if someone was leafing through a book. The nights were the eeriest. Often, I would wake up to a cold touch, a spectral caress that would send shivers down my spine. There were whispers in the dark, soft lullabies that lulled me back to sleep, and sometimes a sense of being watched, of eyes peering at me from the shadows. There was an electrifying thrill in these encounters, a sense of stepping into the unknown, of unraveling mysteries that were beyond the realm of the living. It was a dangerous game, a dance with the supernatural, and I was well aware of it. I was defying my father's warnings, breaking the rules, crossing boundaries that were not meant to be crossed. I knew I was playing with fire, but I couldn't help myself. Then one day my father fell ill, and I was left with no choice but to break my silence. The world of the living and the dead had always been separate, a boundary I respected out of fear and obedience. But my father's condition deteriorated. His once strong voice was now a whisper, his vibrant eyes now dull and lifeless. I was desperate, alone, and the only ones who could possibly help were the ones he had warned me about. I reached out to them, the spirits, the ghosts that had been my silent companions all these years. Fear gripped me as I broke the one rule my father had so vehemently enforced. A cold chill ran down my spine. It was as if the air around me had thickened, as if the room itself was holding its breath in anticipation. I spoke to them, my voice trembling. "Ellie, Alex, Sarah, I need your help." My plea echoed in the silence, bouncing off the walls of our old house, the only response a chilling silence. I felt vulnerable, exposed. I had invited them in, broken the barrier my father had fought so hard to maintain. Yet their response was not what I had expected. There was no anger, no vengeful spirit seeking to harm me for my transgressions. Instead, there was an eerie calm, a silence that was somehow comforting, reassuring. It was as if they understood, as if they too had once known the fear of losing someone they cared for. I felt their presence intensify, a sense of urgency filling the room. Was it hope that I felt? Or was it just the desperate wish of a frightened girl? I didn't know, but I held on to it, clung to it with all my might. I had broken the rules, stepped into the unknown. Now, all I could do was wait and hope that my plea would not fall on deaf ears. Little did I know, my plea for help would lead to a revelation that would change my life forever. The spirits answered, and what they revealed was more horrifying than I could have ever imagined. A chill ran down my spine as they began to unveil the truth. The connection between my blindness and these spirits was not a mere coincidence. It was a bond, a tethering from a realm beyond our own. In the spectral echoes of their voices, they revealed that my sight had been taken, not by nature, but by supernatural forces. My ability to sense them, talk to them, was not a gift, but a trade-off. I had been given a connection to the spirit world in place of my sight in this one. My father, it seemed, had known this all along. His warnings, his punishments, they were all efforts to protect me from this terrifying reality. The revelation left me reeling. I felt as though I was falling, tumbling into an abyss of confusion and fear. My world, already shrouded in darkness, felt even darker. But with this darkness came a newfound understanding. I was not just a blind girl, I was a bridge between two worlds. This transformative realization changed everything. It was as though a veil had been lifted, not from my eyes, but from my soul. I could feel the spirits around me more clearly, their presence no longer a source of fear but a comforting familiarity. I was one of them, in a way, and they were a part of me. But with this revelation came a profound sense of responsibility. I was not just a passive observer, I was a conduit, a medium. I had a role to play, an obligation to these spirits who had been my companions in the darkness. This revelation, as terrifying as it was, brought me clarity. It brought me purpose. And even though I was still blind to the world around me, I could see myself more clearly than ever before. I was not a victim of my circumstances, but a wielder of a power beyond comprehension. In the end, I realized some secrets are better left untold. But this secret, this revelation, was mine to bear, and bear it I would. For in the darkness I had found my light. In the wake of the revelation, my world was forever changed. The veil that had shrouded my understanding was ripped away, and I was left standing in the stark light of truth. My father, my guide and protector, had been punishing me for a truth he himself could not face, a truth that was as much a part of me as my own heartbeat. With this newfound knowledge, my relationship with my father took on a new dimension. The stern warnings and harsh punishments of the past now echoed with a deep sense of love and fear, a desperate attempt to protect me from a world he could not see, but knew all too well. He was not just my father, but my sentinel against the unseen. As for the spirits, Ellie, Alex, Sarah, they remained, their presence no longer a source of fear, but a testament to my unique gift. I had spoken to them, connected with them, and in doing so had transcended the boundaries of the seen and unseen. They were not just spectral echoes, but my companions in this extraordinary journey. Looking back, I can see the threads of this strange tapestry of my life, each encounter, each chilling whisper, weaving together to form the broader picture. Through all the fear and uncertainty, I've learned that the unknown is not to be feared, but understood. That the unseen is not a realm of horrors, but a world teeming with stories waiting to be told. And so my journey continues, guided by the lessons of my past and the spirits of my present. The spirits no longer whisper in the shadows, they speak to me loud and clear, their stories echoing in the silence of my world. Join me next time on Miss Nightmare, where the shadows whisper and the unseen is made visible. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button for more chilling tales from the other side.